Alright everyone, I realize I'm backlit at the moment. I've got the fan on one side of me blowing on me and the windows open for air because it's like 95 degrees right now, not closing the windows up for anybody's benefit. It's time to talk about the Republicans being stupid, which they are. Clearly, most congressional Republicans are totally fucking retarded. They're just like the Democrats. The same thing, really. They get the same dead ideas, the same non-working ideas, and they've got the same lack of strategic thinking. This is the same as some fringe groups have as well. They're still hedging their bets against Trump. Trump comes out, attacks Comey. In self-defense, because Comey's sitting there trying to crucify him. And they say, we're not going to defend Trump on this. Trump is wrong. He shouldn't be engaging in this issue. Yes, it makes perfect sense for the sitting president not to defend themselves against the claims of other parties. He should just fucking sit there and shut up and deal with it. That makes a whole lot of sense. He's not going to do that. He's Donald Trump. He's no stranger to drama and to getting involved with other people. He never was. He never will be. You're going to have to deal with that leadership style for at least a few more years. Probably a second term at this point because the Democrats don't know what they're doing. You're going to have to deal with that. Hedging your bets against Trump is a terrible idea. Look at the primaries. Look at the general election. Everybody underestimated him. Early on, I considered it a joke too. When it became clear it was no longer a joke, when he came in second in Iowa, went on to win New Hampshire, I said, oh, yeah, he's the front runner. And a lot of people couldn't believe it. They said, no, Ted Cruz will be the candidate. Jeb Bush out of nowhere. He'll win South Carolina. Marco Rubio will be the candidate. Some people were saying Ben Carson would be the candidate because he was anointed by Jesus Christ himself. Nope, it was Donald Trump. By the time that Nevada came around and he had won 3 of the first 4 states and come in a close second in Iowa, you should have realized that betting against him is probably no longer the greatest idea in the world. At the time, I was still a Rand Paul supporter. After Super Tuesday, of course, he had no chance. Regrettable as though that may be, Rand no longer had a chance. I switched and supported Trump. And several times, especially after Pence, because I'm still not a fan of Mike Pence. Supported Gary Johnson till he went crazy. And then it was clear that there was no third party option. So I'm like, oh, well, if the Libertarian Party's even worse than that shit, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because I don't like Hillary Clinton. And I know that my vote doesn't really count here. I'm in a far blue state that was definitely going to go for Hillary Clinton, although not by as huge a margin as it went for Obama. She lost a good 10 points off of the support in this state because she shafted Bernie Sanders. I wonder if the lawsuit involving Sanders' money troubles with his fundraising, going to the same DNC openly campaigning for Clinton. I wonder if that had gone public during the election, would Vermont have gone red? I think it might have. I think they may have punished Hillary Clinton. New Hampshire, too. That would have been a red state, certainly. It would have boiled down to a few thousand voters. That would have been hilarious, half of New England going for Donald Trump, of all people. Would have been great. You could have seen New York, some of the upstate New Yorkers, blue holdouts, they would have gone red, too. Now, here's the thing. When the Republicans in Congress say, Trump is being a bad boy, he's defending himself against James Comey. James Comey is just so fucking wonderful. James Comey is not wonderful. And he tried to throw you a bone, and in all honesty, in defense of James Comey, and this is the best I can do, he tried to throw you a bone with the Loretta Lynch statement that he made, and you largely ignored it. You didn't even want to take that bone and chew on it a little bit. You'd rather fixate on how evil Trump is being. Talk about never Trump stupidity. You hedged your bets against him in the primaries. You were wrong. You should have amalgamated behind him. You abandoned him during the election. And you were wrong. And you should have amalgamated behind him. Now he's the president of the United States. You're still betting against him. Have you not learned your lesson yet that he's better at strategy than you? That's my question to every goddamn Republican in Congress. Have you not at this point had enough and learned that you can actually adopt Trump-style strategies and win things? That it's not a big problem. That it's not immoral and evil and spooky-dooky and all these very sensitive Republicans. We don't want to be called racist by the Democrats. Have you not learned your lesson yet? You're really that dumb that you're going to keep up with the boring, tired old 90s campaign style that Hillary Clinton tried and failed to use? That seems to be what some of these people are doing. Thank goodness a lot of these people are a hazard. I hope they all get replaced. Meanwhile, John McCain's going senile. Lindsey Graham is more kind of sort of in the closet than ever, and that's the Republican Party of today. Those are the leaders of the Never Trump movement. A man who's senile and a man who's so obviously in the closet that Queer Eye is going to do a documentary on him. Those are the leaders of the GOP. They're going to talk about how goofy Trump is for his strategy. What, he's supposed to sit there and say, oh yeah, James Comey can rake me over the coals. Make any claim he wants against me without any actual evidence, by the way, of those claims. I'm just gonna sit back and not mention it. I'm just gonna sit back and take it. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm not gonna go against glorious, wonderful James Comey. Doesn't make any sense. What, he's not supposed to protect his reputation? This is Donald Trump. He's no stranger to drama. You think he's actually gonna sit there quietly, take a bunch of abuse from the former head of the FBI who he had to fire? You know, after all the Democrats wanted him fired before, all of a sudden they screamed bloody murder when he actually got fired. Didn't you find that slightly odd? You could have used that as an issue to politic on, but you were too dumb to do that. Now you've got to rely upon... You've basically got two choices at this point, because it's pretty advanced in the game. You can either go with Trump, adopt that style, back him, and hedge your bets with him. Or you can continue to stonewall him. You're going to look like a bunch of Democrats to all of his supporters, which will be more numerous, by the way, if he does manage to pass his tax plan. I'm sure you're stonewalling that for a reason. You can hedge your bets against him, and you're going to get wiped out. The Never-Trumpers will be like the Democrats. They'll get wiped out maybe during the midterms, too. All those Republicans that are up for re-election will lose. Democrats won't retake anything, but the Republicans, the Never-Trumpers, will be wiped out. Probably be the best thing for this country at this point. If you're worried, by the way, if you're worried about fascism, all these Never-Trumpers and Democrats, oh, Trump is a fascist, too much power, executive abuse, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's such a horrible person. The time to stop him was during the primaries, he didn't. Then the time to stop him was during the election, you didn't do that. Then the time to stop him was early on in his campaign, in his presidency, you didn't do that. You're not going to stop him. If he was actually a fascist, welcome to Fascist USA, because you're obviously too ineffective to do anything about him. Meanwhile, I sit here and chuckle because you're so dumb. You didn't even realize what his strategy was. You thought that he was just mouthing off constantly. You didn't realize it was calculated. Some of you still don't. No wonder the GOP has the reputation as the stupid party. The Democrats are the evil ones. The Republicans are the dumb ones. Meanwhile, Trump, who's basically half nonpartisan, he sits there, he's laughing his ass off because you keep trying to stop him by saying something he's doing is morally wrong. It's not the way the average American sees it, I think. I think the average American understands if you're being discredited by someone, you have the right to respond to that. Saying James Comey is cowardly, yeah, it's perfectly acceptable. It's what we expect from Trump, or at least sane people expect it. Oh, these people haven't learned their lesson. It's going to be funny to see them probably fail once again. That's about all. Peace out.